Hi there, and welcome to another Papetti Math YouTube video tutorial where we're going to be continuing on with Lesson 5, Graphing Systems of Inequalities. Let's get right into it with exercise number 2, where it says to graph the system of inequalities on the grid below. So if you remember from exercise 1, both of our equations were in slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b form. If we're looking at these two inequalities over here, neither of these is in mx plus b form. So that's going to be our first step. We need to get both of these inequalities to be in mx plus b or slope-intercept form. So in other words, we're going to have to isolate y. And we're going to do that by, on the left side right here, we're going to subtract 20x. So let's start off by subtracting 20x from both sides of our inequality, and we'll be left with 50y is greater than, I put my x's first for mx plus b form, negative 20 plus 200. Now I'm going to divide everything by 50, and I will have y is greater than, well, this is a negative 20 over 50. That would simplify to negative 2 over 5x. And then 200 divided by 50 will give me positive 4. Okay, now I'll go over here, and I'll do the same thing with my other inequality. 50x minus 250y is greater than or equal to negative 500. So again, the first thing I want to do is move my x's over. So I'm going to subtract 50x, and I'll be left with negative 250y is greater than or equal to negative 50x minus 500. My last step over here is going to be divide everything by negative 250, but wait 1 second there, because we should remember that if we're dividing an inequality by a negative number, we have to do something very special. And that something that's very special is that we're going to flip the sign of the inequality when we multiply or divide by a negative number. So in this case, we're dividing by negative 250. We flip the inequality. So now this fraction is going to simplify to positive 1 over 5x, and negative 500 divided by negative 250 is positive 2. So now that we have our two inequalities, we're going to graph each one of these. We'll start with the one on the left with a y-intercept of positive 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to be going down to right 5 units. Down to right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down to right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are all the points that fit there. So now we look at our inequality. It's greater than, it's not equal to, therefore we give this thing a dashed line. Now, even though we're only given one quadrant, it's not a real life problem. So we are going to be putting arrows on either end. We're going to be shading this thing where y is greater than that line. And if you look at your y-axis, the y values are greater than up above it. So we're going to be shading this entire large area right here. There we go. And we'll just extend that there. Okay. So now that we have the first one graphed, we could also label this as y is greater than negative 2 over 5x plus 4. Now we're going to be graphing our second inequality, which this one has a y-intercept of positive 2. And we're going to be going up 1 unit, right 5. Up 1, right 5. Up 1, right 5. Up 1, right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we look at the inequality. This one is equal to now. So remember the trick, solid line underneath the inequality means connect these points with a solid line. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect those things with a solid line right there, a nice straight solid line. Arrows on the edge, and I'm going to be labeling these points as this inequality as well. Y is less than or equal to 1/5 x plus 2. Now, again, it's less than, so we want to shade where y is less than. If we look at our y-intercept, the y values are less than this line going downward. So I'm going to be shading this inequality downward. And finally, I want to look at where these two solution sets intersect, and I'm going to denote that with a gigantic letter S for solution. So right there, I have my first inequality graph shaded up, my second inequality graph shaded down, and this triangular area, not really triangular, but it is triangular. This area right here is our solution set of both inequalities. Any point in this set would satisfy both of these inequalities up here. And if this video is helpful in isolating y, getting two inequalities in slope-intercept form and graphing those two inequalities, give this video a thumbs up and you're ready for exercise number 3. Thanks for watching.